There are moments in public life when a story becomes bigger than the headline attached to it. It becomes something symbolic, something that resonates with people far beyond the immediate news cycle. And recently, one such moment has been building around a special event centred on Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, whose journey over the past several years has sparked endless conversations across the world. But this time, the conversation isn't about royal protocol, palace drama, or media speculation. Instead, it's about something much more personal, and for many women, deeply relatable resilience. At the centre of this story is Gemma O'Neill, the founder and presenter of the podcast Her Best Life. When she spoke to her listeners recently, she shared something that immediately captured attention. She had been given the opportunity to sit down with Meghan in a live, in-person conversation during an exclusive Women's Weekend event. But the most surprising part wasn't the interview itself. It was the fact that Gemma almost said no. According to her own words, she initially hesitated when the invitation arrived. For many people, being offered the chance to interview a globally recognized public figure would be an instant yes. But Gemma described feeling something many people quietly struggle with: self-doubt. She admitted to her audience that when the opportunity first appeared, her immediate reaction wasn't excitement. It was disbelief. She wondered whether she deserved such a moment at all. And in her own words, she said she almost declined because she felt like she didn't deserve it. That feeling of hesitation is something that resonates with a lot of people. Opportunities sometimes arrive when we least expect them, and instead of celebrating them, we question whether we are truly worthy. For Gemma, that internal debate became a major turning point. She described spending time reflecting deeply about the decision. It wasn't something she took lightly. Hosting a major event with a globally recognized figure is not just another interview, it's a moment that can shape careers and communities. Eventually, the person who helped push her towards saying yes was her longtime friend, Jackie O Henderson. Jackie encouraged her not to step back from the opportunity. According to Gemma, Jackie was very clear. This was something she needed to do for herself. Jackie reportedly told her that sometimes people need to step outside their comfort zones, even when they feel nervous or unsure. And Gemma admitted that stepping outside her comfort zone is exactly what this event represents. She described herself as someone who prefers to stay behind the scenes. Someone who enjoys building projects quietly rather than being the center of attention. But this event would be the opposite of that. This would place her firmly in the spotlight. Yet the more she reflected, the more she realized that the opportunity wasn't just about her. It was about the community she had spent years building. Her podcast, Her Best Life, had grown into a space where women talk about personal growth, resilience, mental health, and becoming the best version of themselves. And that mission, she said, is exactly why Meghan agreed to participate. According to Gemma, Meghan was drawn to the message of women supporting each other and striving to grow. That shared mission is what helped bring the event together. The gathering itself is designed as an intimate weekend experience for women who want to step away from the stress of daily life and reconnect with themselves and with others. The event will take place at the luxury InterContinental Sydney Coogee Beach, a 5-star location overlooking the ocean. For the organisers, the setting matters. The idea is to create an environment that feels calm, restorative, and inspiring. Attendees will participate in activities designed to promote reflection and relaxation, including morning yoga sessions, meditation gatherings, sound healing experiences, and discussions centered around personal growth. And at the centre of the entire weekend will be a fireside conversation between Gemma and Meghan. It's intended to be a deeply personal discussion rather than a formal interview. Instead of focusing on headlines or controversy, the conversation will explore resilience, personal challenges, and what it means to rebuild and grow after difficult experiences. Gemma explained that one of the reasons she admires Meghan is because of the strength she believes the Duchess has shown through adversity. She told her listeners that she has long admired Meghan for how she handled the intense pressures that came with becoming part of one of the most scrutinised families in the world. In Gemma's view, Meghan represents a powerful example of how a woman can be pushed down yet still rise. That phrase, pushed down but still rising, has become a central theme of the event. Because for many women, the idea of resilience isn't abstract, it's personal. It can mean recovering from heartbreak, rebuilding after career setbacks, overcoming self-doubt, or navigating criticism. And the organisers believe conversations about these experiences can be incredibly powerful when women gather together to share them. The weekend itself is limited to around 300 attendees. That small number is intentional. Instead of a massive conference with thousands of participants, the goal is to create something intimate, a space where people feel comfortable opening up and connecting. For those who choose the VIP experience, the event includes front-row seating during the fireside conversation and a group photo opportunity with Meghan. VIP tickets are priced at around $1,700, reflecting the luxury nature of the event and the exclusive access it offers. But according to the event description, the weekend is about far more than celebrity appearances. The promotional materials describe it as a girls' weekend like no other. A chance for women to reconnect with themselves, recharge their energy, and form meaningful connections. The programme promises moments of laughter, relaxation, powerful conversations, and unforgettable experiences. And, at the heart of it all, is the idea that women supporting each other can be transformative. The concept resonates strongly with Meghan's public advocacy over the years. Throughout her career, first as an actress and later as a public figure, Meghan has often spoken about gender equality and the importance of empowering women. Her involvement in an event like this fits naturally with that message. But the deeper story here isn't just about Meghan. It's about the ripple effect of confidence. Gemma's story of almost saying no reflects a moment many people experience, the moment when fear tries to convince us to step back from something meaningful. The voice that says, "Who am I to do this?" But the decision to say yes can change everything. And that is exactly what happened here. Gemma decided that the community she had built deserved the experience. She realised that the opportunity wasn't about personal recognition. It was about creating something special for the women who had supported her work. Once she made that decision, the event began to take shape. Planning started. The venue was secured. The programme was designed. And suddenly, what once felt like an overwhelming idea became a real weekend gathering. For many people following the story, the most inspiring part isn't the celebrity guest. It's the vulnerability Gemma showed in admitting her doubts. Public figures often present confidence as something effortless. But the reality is that confidence is often built through moments of uncertainty. Moments where people choose to move forward despite feeling afraid. In that sense, the story reflects exactly what the event itself is about. Growth rarely happens inside comfort zones. Sometimes it begins with a quiet conversation between friends. Sometimes it begins with someone telling you that you deserve a seat at the table. And sometimes it begins with the decision to say yes. As the event approaches, anticipation continues to build among listeners of Her Best Life and women interested in the retreat. Many see it not just as a luxury weekend, but as an opportunity to reflect on their own journeys. Because behind every public story about resilience are thousands of private ones. Stories of women rebuilding confidence, rediscovering purpose, and finding strength they didn't know they had. That's the message the organisers hope attendees will carry home. Not just memories of a glamorous weekend, but a renewed sense of possibility. And in many ways, that's exactly why this conversation matters. Because sometimes the most powerful stories aren't about perfection. They're about rising, again and again, even after being pushed down.